Hi there, and welcome to another MasterGMAT sentence correction question. We're going to look at a medium to advanced question, a bit tricky at times. So, of course, if you want to try it yourself, you can do so simply by pausing the recording. Unpause it when you're ready to listen to the explanation. I suggest you take a minute to 2 minutes to complete this question. If you need more, of course, take more time. So, you may pause the recording now. Okay, welcome back. Now, the first order of business is, of course, the work order, which means first thing we look for is between 0 and 2 errors in the underlined portion of the sentence. Now, over here, it's a bit tricky, and perhaps we can't find an error. So what do we do if we cannot find an error? Well, we can assume that it's A, there's no error, or we can make sure, especially when it's a complex sentence like this. We need to check the elements. We have the time, we have our couple of minutes, so why not do it? Now, over here, if we don't find an error, we go to B, C, D, and E. Let's go to B right away. You see comprises is different than comprise. So obviously here right away in B and in differentiation from A, they're testing the singular and plural. Let's make sure of what the actual subject is. If we go back, we see that the subject of comprise is actually Pluto and Sharon. This is basically a plural subject made of singular nouns. We have our stop sign, the and over here, that tells us it is so. And basically Pluto and Sharon agree with comprise. However, if you're not sure, by the way, and at the end of the question, you can always check the summary. This is a cool little feature we have. Basically, this is a little summary of the lesson that the student will have already learned. But if the student forgets, can click on that. It's the relevant lesson for this particular question, and you get a nice little summary and the stop sign, which explains exactly what is going on. It's really a nice way to remember things without having to take copious notes. So this is, again, a very cool little feature that saves you tons of time over other study methods. Get rid of that very quickly. And as you saw, of course, we have more than one relevant lesson for this. So again, you can collapse it easily. So we get rid of B because of the comprises. Now you have here R, a double dwarf planet. Fine, that's okay. The R is plural. And we have the were settled versus was settled. So here's another difference and another verb in this case. What was settled? Was it the moon that was settled? That doesn't make much sense. It's not the planet and its moon that were settled. Okay, this is a trap. If you actually notice and ask the right questions, it is actually the ongoing debate that was settled. So be careful over here, because if it's the planet and its moon that were settled, we have a gross change of meaning over here. So we can get rid of C. Let's look at D. D says comprise, that's okay, etc., etc., everything's the same. Was settled is okay, just like in the original. It's the debate that was settled, right? Remember the word debate over here. Was settled, but over here, check out the is versus the are. Now, what is outside of Pluto versus what are outside of Pluto? Well, over here, again, we have another little trick, and it's the center of mass and a significant portion of its mass. Okay, so we have a plural subject made of singular nouns. We can see that through our little stop sign over here. And of course, if you clicked on that, you get your wonderful time awareness tool, of course. It explains exactly why with the relevant stop sign. No one else has these things, folks. You can actually try again. We don't just spoon feed you the answer. Go back to the question. It's blocked out now. Let's look at the last one. So R is fine in terms of its plural. Our double dwarf planet system, or planet and its moons, was settled. We fixed that as well, and led to the discovery that. Now check out that versus what was in the original sentence. You don't have a led in the original sentence, right? Was settled following this discovery that the system's center of mass, etc., etc. So was settled following the discovery. So to say that something led to or versus something followed the discovery is actually a very, very big change in meaning, and we cannot have that in the GMAT. So although it's grammatically correct, everything in here is grammatically correct, you can't actually change the meaning of the original sentence. And that's why A is the correct answer choice. We got it. And again, if you ever wanted to actually check out the rest of the answer choices, you can. So that's kind of nice too. And you can always check out the relevant summaries of the lesson. That's it for now. We'll see you next time.